Hello everyone, it's your boy Angelo back with another episode of Horizon Zero Dawn. Today I wanted to do some of the side quests that I discovered while at Bright Market and possibly explore. I don't think I'm going to be doing the exploration in this episode because I do want to read those glyphs that I've been putting on hold, including reading the glyph that I just discovered in the last episode. So it's going to take a while doing that. I can already tell because glyphs tend to be a lot larger than the standard data points that you might find because there's a lot more information in these glyphs. So in the reading and talking, I can already tell it's going to eat up a chunk of this episode's time. Timestamps will be provided as usual in case you're not interested in any of that, just want to get to the questing. So we'll see how much I can get today because I also have a busy day today, so I might not be recording for too long. But we'll see. Anyways, let's just get on with it because it's going to take a while reading these glyphs. They're interesting though, but they are pretty big. There's the Banuk, the Nora, and the Old Ones that I want to read today. Let's start with the Old Ones. Myth of the Old Ones. Any Karja devout knows that the truth of the Old Ones is laid out plainly in the Articles of the Sun Faith. A twilight time came upon them, as is the cycle of things, followed by a long night, and finally our ancestors' birth in the new dawn. Since that dawn, Karja history has been writ in the path of the sun, not the fated glories of those who came so long before us. Even the leaves of the Old Ones found by Ahriman are long since cracked and fallen to dust. Nevertheless, collected here for study are the colorful beliefs of the Old Ones held by other tribes, which may offer a small insight into those tribes' primitive views of the world. The Asuram, as might be expected, view the workings of the world as a device, one where all things behave according to the mechanical rigidity and not the sun's divine rhythms. The movement of the tribes, of the seasons, even the stars and night are all accounted for by this interlocking and complicated mechanism. The Old Ones were the caretakers of this great machine, but they neglected their duty to maintain it. The world machine thus fell into disrepair, and the civilization of the Old Ones collapsed with it. Now, the Asuram used their myth to berate the other tribes as negligent and to hammer upon their own importance. How convenient that their tinkers and metalworkers alone might learn this mechanism's secrets and improve upon it with their ingenuity. Isn't that funny and rich coming from a Karja? Because it's like the pot calling the kettle black. The Karja are just egotistical about their worldview and believing that their faith is the one true faith. They also berate the other tribes as negligent, and the Karja love to hammer their own importance as well. We started off by talking about how he wrote down the other tribes' primitive views of the world. Like, they're already placing themselves much higher above everyone else. An even more fanciful tale of censure comes from the Nora barbarians. They believe that the Old Ones turned away from the teachings of the Nora's female god, the All-Mother, and eloped with the machines to build their mighty cities. Having failed to tempt the Nora to join them, the machines rallied under a great metal devil and attacked the All-Mother. In her vengeance, she stripped the machines of their wisdom, reducing them to the simple metal beasts we see today. Without the assistance of the machines, the Old Ones were left to wander as exiles, never permitted to return to the isolation of the Nora and their strange feminine rites. From the survivors of this so-called punishment grew the other tribes, and this is why the Nora show distrust to all outside their borders. For we are the descended from the faithless, and do not shun the trappings of the ancient worlds. The faithless, that is a term we've heard before, right? That was the word that was used by the sister who was looking for her brother, who was suffering from more than likely schizophrenia. But because they don't understand what that is, they just know that he hears voices, and they attribute that to like the evil spirits of the past people who were lured, tempted by the whisperings of the machines. And so they're known as the faithless. I'm pretty sure we heard like a good amount of this story at the proving, right? I believe there was like an elder woman who was telling a story to children. I'm pretty sure there was like even a jump scare, or she tried to do a jump scare in that story. But it sounds familiar. I know I read this before when I first discovered this, but I'm pretty sure I've like audibly heard this story from the proving, because it does sound familiar. But it is interesting that they believe that, I guess, the tribes, like all tribes, were one in the motherland, in the holy land of the Nora. And then the ones who were tempted by the machines were banished, and so they wandered off across the world, and that's how the other tribes came into existence. Only the Nora are the true faithful one. Like every other tribe, they believe that their worldview, their faith, is the one true faith, of course. It's like the real world. With religion, everyone swears that theirs is the one true perspective on life. Surprisingly, it is the Banuk whose belief is most similar to our own, though their mythology is bizarre in many other ways. They believe the old ones grew complacent, thinking there was no challenge they could not overcome, and in their pride were undone. Hence, the Banuk give them no more attention than any other tribe defeated by the harshness of Banuk land. In fact, many Banuk hunters point to the absence of ruins in Banur as a sign that the old ones were never strong enough to endure its challenges. They claim that only the machines and the Banuk have ever roamed there, and so they have nothing to learn from the ancients. They're not completely wrong. The old ones were indeed overconfident in their belief that they feel that there was no challenge they could not overcome. They grew complacent, most notably Ted Faro, the bastard, who had his developers, his coders, make it so their machines were unhackable. And in doing so, he doomed us all because when they went rogue, there was no way to regain control of them. So yeah, they grew complacent, thinking there was no challenge they could not overcome. They're like, oh yeah, just crunch the numbers, we'll be able to regain the swarm, lickety split. Lo and behold, that's not what happened, because they started to devour everything that was organic, and so he had to like swallow his pride, like he can get back in touch with Elizabeth, and then Zero Dawn was born from that. So I guess in a sense, yeah, the old ones were able to overcome the challenge, but it nearly doomed them. That much is certain. So it kind of feels like maybe there is a grain of truth in all of these myths that these tribal people have, because that is one way that humanity, even in our real world, passes along stories, is we do so verbally. Like, we don't always jot things down. Sometimes we'll tell a story to someone, they'll tell it to someone else, and generation after generation after generation, these stories that were once true start to turn into urban legends, into myths, because every storyteller has their own way of like spicing up the story so it could be more entertaining, so it could be, I guess, more unforgettable. So it stays with you, so they might embellish certain details, add on certain little things that might not be true. So you have a once non-fiction story turned basically into fiction with like a kernel of truth in them. And that's kind of how it sounds here, because it's like, yeah, the old ones were complacent, they're not wrong. Anyways, the distant Utaru, however, believe that the old ones are still with them at all times. In Utaru ritual, those who die are returned to the soil, nourishing the land and living on through new growth. As long as the dead are remembered, they will contribute to the harvest and make them bountiful. Utaru see the richness of their territory, Plainsong, as evidence of this unique and disturbing cycle. Finally, as there are few living scholars of the Tanakh, we are regrettably denied any insight from that tribe. From what is known, though, it seems they have little concept of a wider history at all. But, of course, this is what elevates a scholar of Meridian from a bloodthirsty raider to be aware of all the sun's light touches, however strange and unlikely the tales. It is interesting hearing about how the other tribes believe the old ones existed. It does make sense now that I reread this first section, talking about how they have leaves, aka I guess paper, like documents, books, that kind of stuff from the past, but because it's been like 1,000 years ago, yeah, it's been cracked and turned into dust by time. So the only surviving archived history of the before time is all digitally stored. But none of these people have focuses besides Aloy and the cult. But the cult, they're not exactly scholars or historians themselves. They only really care about unearthing new weapons, and that's it. So yeah, I guess all these people have are nothing but speculation about what happened in the before time. It kind of seems like it might be a bit of truth, just like a small bit of truth in all of these myths. The Nora. Rumors of the Nora by the well-traveled Aram. Readers, many times I have been asked to describe that most fearsome of barbarian tribes, the Nora of the Savage East. So ferocious are the rumors of these people, you might think it was they who raided us during the dark times of the Mad Sun King, and not the opposite. Well, dear readers, though I possess bravery, there is a shadow length between bravery and certain death, and it is certain death that awaits any who trespass on the sacred land of the Nora. However, I have traveled beyond Day Tower into the snow-dusted hinterlands of the Savage East and onto the very edge of Nora territory, now the site of a hard-scrabble trading camp known as Hunter's Gathering. There, I sat around an open fire with outlanders and uncouths. I was able to gather tales and eyewitness accounts of what might be seen within the Valley of the Warrior Women. They told me another day's travel south lies the Mother's Crown, a name that suggests something grander than the fort of tree trunks and log cabins that was described to me. Still, I was assured it squats most imposingly upon a rocky outcrop far above rushing rapids and white-capped falls. From its ramparts, a series of watchtowers stretch back across the mountains, and at any sign of approach, flaming arrows arc into the air between them. For a tribe so concerned with their precious wilds, I expected less careless behavior. Those interlopers, stout or foolhardy enough to approach after this display, are turned back with another flight of arrows, this time aimed just above their heads. The Outlanders, chuckling, agreed that if a Karja showed their colors, the arrows would fly lower, and that even soldiers behind Day Tower's walls grumble about being ambushed and devoured by Nora warriors. I corrected them that it was the Tanoth, not the Nora, who are known to engage in cannibalism. In fact, the Nora have only been seen to chew the bark from trees, the tough plants from the ground, and drink strange herbal brews. I proposed that they may well be forbidden from eating meat except at their strange feminine rites beneath the moon. Wait, what the hell? This has to be a bunch of baloney. Fake news. This is straight up fake news, right? Like, no. They eat meat. Yeah, because like one of the very first quests I had as Aloy was that there was another outcast and we were going to bring her meat. I didn't strip the bark from trees and gather like still pond water so that she could drink with her herbal strange teas. And then pick up very tough roots? Like, okay, to be fair, I didn't exactly spend a lot of time in Nora society. We were outcast. So, the only true experience we have with the Nora was at the Proving, and they did have meat there, right? It was like a grand festival. Maybe that is the only time they're allowed to eat meat. I don't know. Since, like I said, we didn't exactly spend time with them, but I feel like this feels like it's just exaggerated for dramatic effect. Surely the Nora do not just see a nice ripe hardened tree. I guess ripe and hardened are kind of an oxymoron, but they don't see a delicious treat, right? Look at it, grab onto it with both hands, and then just dig their chompers into that tree and start chomping down, right? That can't be true. Yes, in the benighted land of the Nora, the natural way of things goes inverted. Women rule men, and all the might of Karja metal can be deflected by logs, leather, and hides. Ruins filled with bounteous artifacts go untouched, and great stretches of farmable land are left uncultivated. Only the machines, which the Nora greatly mistrust after some ancestral conflict or another, seem untroubled by this rampant strangeness. Father-son has no place here, and I would not be surprised to find the Norse woman god to be the moon itself, though it is Nora women who so famously feature in tales and encounters with the tribes. Men have also been sighted bearing the outlandish hair and blue-painted markings of Nora warriors. It is my understanding from reading older studies of the tribe that a ritual known as the Proving allows men to battle one another to gain favor from their rulers. Kinda... like, isn't it open to both men and women? I thought it was mostly to like those coming of age, so those around the age of 18, so that they can become braves, and then the one that wins gets one favor. So it seems like they have some understanding of what happens in Norlands, but because it is dangerous for Outlanders to step inside, because yeah, they will be met with arrow shot at their direction, they don't know everything about them. So it feels like they have some truth, and then the others are just rampant speculation that they put together, and then they come up with this theory of how the Nora actually live. My curiosity to witness this and other Nora rituals sadly goes unsated, but it is my hope that his Illuminance will extend an offer of alliance to these mysterious barbarians. So emboldened by the Sun King's generosity and the knowledge that I would travel with many well-armored blazons, I would gladly gather a first-hand account for the benefit of my readers. Indeed, I plan to employ a female scribe who might allow better parley between the Nora and I on such an occasion. A better path for a young Karja woman than working as a seller for the Asurum metal merchants in town, no? Until such a sun-touched time comes, though, I can only share with you copies from the extensive collection of sketches I have gathered over the years, mere glimpses of these bizarre, savage, and yet strangely alluring women folk. Yeah, if I heard a tribe of Amazonian women exists out there, and they are very dangerous to any foreign entities that dare cross their lands, I would be both scared and strangely intrigued to learn more about them. Scroused is what they call it, right? Scared and aroused. Strangely alluring women folk. Yeah, it does seem like, because the one truth is that Outlanders do get killed, they're not allowed to enter their sacred land because they're known as the faithless and yada yada, so they will be killed on sight. It does make it hard to gather the real sense of what the Nora actually are and write it down for others to read, so they do have to speculate a lot. But it does seem like they too have some truths, but a lot of it is speculation. I'm pretty sure they do not chew the bark straight off the tree. I know cinnamon is such that, but it's also not like a main meal either. At least he knows that they're not cannibals. That is the other tribe, the Tanoth. That's funny. The Banuk. A Guide to Banur and the Banuk by the well-traveled Aram. It's him again. The sun shines golden on these times, where one can experience the whole world without leaving the streets of Meridian, for the gates are thrown open and the world comes to us. And yet, as I walk among the markets, I heard a question on the air again. What to make of the Banuk, these stoic, silent northern hunters, these men and women of the ice? Unfortunately for my investigations, Banuk Outlanders seldom remain in Meridian long enough for exhaustive study. It is believed their cold blood does not take well to the heat. If I was to seek this knowledge, I would have to undergo the ordeal of taking up travel pack and quill and journeying to their homeland. And so it came to be that I spent a miserable time living among the Banuk in frigid Banur. Though the Banuk speak of their territory in reverent tones, put plainly, it is the most uncomfortable place in the world. There is beauty, soaring glaciers of jeweled hues, billows of steam that erupt from the earth, whirling auroras in the skies above. Yes. But the novelty quickly passes and the bone-freezing chill remains. It is a country of the moon, for in the day the sun is reduced to a needle's eye through the gray, and in the night the moon rises 4 times the width. There is no welcome, not in the land nor from its people. Though I lived among one of the Wereks, something like a group of families, but without the civility of a noble house, each member must prove that they possess the will to survive alone. They seek to always be challenged, whether at the jaws of a machine or simply in their daily existence. I try to explain my position, that a Karja faces a challenge, devises a solution, and then with the challenge overcome, can live in contentment. This concept horrified them. It was made clear that when I expected to sleep, I must dig out my own hollow in the snow for my tent. When I expected to eat, I must hunt food myself. I hid my disappointment. After all, I had participated in a hunting trial or two in my time and accepted. On the third morning, I was able to bring down a rabbit, much like those seen in the plains, but with a downy snow coat. Upon presenting my prize to the Werek, I received only blank stares until one indicated I must skin and prepare it. Reader, I will spare you the details. The experience nearly changed me to eat only maize bread forevermore. I feel like a lot of people are like that. It's like one thing to be like okay with eating meat. It's a completely different thing to not just hunt said meat, but to strip it from the animal yourself. I feel like a lot of people, like the average person, wouldn't be able to stomach it really. Unless, like, not until you're accustomed to it at such a young age. If you've never done it in your life, then once you become an adult, I think it becomes a lot more nauseating experience. But the Banuk, they're very hardened from their environment. I had barely finished my gory portion before the Banuk set off on a machine hunt with their shaman, a man with machine bindings sewn into his very skin. Perhaps another challenge to decency? He claimed to sense the machine spirits close by, and sure enough, the hunters and I followed tracks in the snow to a grazer herd. The Banuk made short work of them with their spears, and struck with a curious desire to prove myself, I threw myself into stripping a fallen machine for parts. Instead of praise for my initiative, I was subjected to the shaman's cursing and wailing and hauled back to camp by a sullen hunter. Eventually, she explained that the machine spirits must be thanked for the gift of a successful hunt before any parts are harvested. Truly, I was despairing of the shifting wilds of Banuk culture and longed for the certainty of the sun's guidance. That night, mercifully my last, my companions and another Werek gathered under a pitiless clear sky to exchange songs, their way of recording history. Some understand the glyphs, but choose not to use them, asking, what is a song without voices? By this point, I knew better than to answer. My deeds warranted a whole verse in the song of my companions, but from what I could make out, much was lost in the translation. Yeah, we'll go with that. Still, there was laughter enough, and many promised to leave me a Banuk farewell mark for our time together. I parted ways with the Werek not far from the High Bloom and set about climbing back down to Dawn's Sentinel, and with it sun-blessed civilization. As for the farewell marks, I saw no such thing when I packed my wetly frozen belongings. Oh no! Another Banuk mystery, perhaps, and my advice to you, dear reader, is to let these people keep their mysteries to themselves. You know what? In this, we can definitely agree. Let them keep their mysteries to themselves. Ignorance is bliss, as they say. If he doesn't know what a farewell mark is, it's better this way. Otherwise, he'd probably be bathing for the next 3 months straight, trying to get rid of that nastiness off of him. Oh my god. So, as I said, I read the Banuk and the old ones when I first entered Karja territory and discovered them. At the time, I had no idea what this last paragraph meant. I too was completely oblivious and blissful in the ignorance of what the hell a farewell mark is. But now that we had that random chance encounter, I think it was random, unless he was part of a quest that I accidentally initiated a little too early. But there was a Banuk hunter that we met in Meridian, and he told us about the Hunter's Lodge, about how they're like bigots and very discriminatory to outsiders. And so he wanted Aloy to give them a good old-fashioned Banuk farewell mark. And we asked what the hell that is, and essentially, we just pee. That is our farewell to them, is by peeing. Preferably in a spot that's going to take them a long time to discover. So so that they can really soak up the stench. Also, make sure to eat a lot of asparagus for a better effect, a more efficient farewell mark. That's what they did to him, this poor man. He's going around tribe to tribe, jotting down what he experiences. My guess is because the Karja are very much bigots, because ignorance brings that out in people. They fear what they do not understand. They see everyone else as primal beings, with the Karja elevated to this like intellectual level compared to others. And so it seems like a ROM is just trying to jot down other people's customs, cultures, traditions, just so that even if the Karja don't believe in them, that they can open their mind to a new perspective, to a new worldview of these people. That's all it seems like he's doing. And the Banuk are like, this guy is so annoying. Yeah, I get it. He's a Karja. More than likely, he just lived a pampered lifestyle compared to the Banuk, who seem to be, like, out of all the tribes, the Banuk seem more like the Native Americans, in the sense that they, like, don't Native Americans, especially back then, didn't they pass their stories on through song? Like, they would be gathered around a campfire of sorts, and that's how they would entertain themselves, by passing stories on and singing and stuff like that. They also thank the animals for every successful hunt. The Banuk do that with the machine animals, thanking their spirits. It seems like out of all the tribes, the Banuk are more akin to the indigenous people of the US. So yeah, they're more hardened because they do everything themselves, whereas the Karja, they have nobles who more than likely don't even wash their own clothes. And then here you have this guy coming into the tribe wanting to be part of the club and jot down his experience, and they're like, we have to babysit this man, I hate this. And so they gave him the farewell mark that's going to last for a while. I hope he washed those clothes and he didn't put them on. That is a little messed up, but I guess I could see why they would find him annoying. Another thing that stuck with me was the fact that they talked about how they have shamans who sew machine parts into their skin. It says, a man with machine binding sewn into his very skin. Isn't that what Silence has? Like, we only seen his holographic image, but I'm pretty sure it's either his chin or his forehead, somewhere, or was it his shoulders? He has what appears to be machine binding sewn into his skin. We've already met a shaman in one of the quests that had those same bindings. So Silence is a Banuk. He's one of their tribe, which is strange because he's not like the other Banuk. As I just mentioned, the Banuk seem more like Native Americans. They're more into the mysticism and spirituality side of life, whereas Silence, he's more like facts and logic. But you can even tell by the way that he talks. Like, his vocabulary is on another level. Like, yeah, I can understand him for the most part, but he uses like very, I guess, highly educated words in normal day conversation, it seems. He does love delving into ruins and uncovering what happened in the before time, what happened with the old world. Whereas we just read in the old one's glyph that the Banuk paid no mind to the old world. They're not interested in that because they feel they cannot learn any lessons from the old ones. So why heed them any mind? But Silence does. So he's like the opposite of what the other Banuk do. That is also interesting. Okay, we read this. It's 30 minutes. I knew it was going to take a while. Hopefully, we can at least do one of these side quests.
The Sundom thanks you, Nora.
Oh, thank you.
Leave me alone, girl. Can't you see I'm searching the water?
Okay, what's wrong? Has someone fallen in?
No. Have you seen a girl of about 17 and... I can't even say it.
What?
Are you afraid she jumped to her death?
I don't know. Elida. My only daughter. She's gone.
And you think she jumped? I know he said he doesn't know. Could it have been that she just ran away?
Who else is searching for her?
I demanded the guards look for her, but I can't put my hope in them. They say girls run off all the time at this age. Not my Alita. I've reached out to her friends, but they say they haven't seen her in weeks. Weeks! How could I not know? But they will look for her. I've searched everywhere, and then I thought maybe she might be here, in the water. By the sun!
Okay, so that's true to life, wherein a child runs away or a child goes missing, and the parent reports this to the authorities, and they just say, oh, the child probably ran away. They do this all the time. Just wait a couple of days. They'll be back, surely. And then the couple of days come and go, and no, they're not back. And finally, the police do their job, and then it turns out that they find the kid deceased. So it is tragic that authorities do that all the time. I mean, I just said the same thing. It's like, are you sure she jumped into the water and drowned? Are you sure she didn't like run away? But he said that he couldn't, like, how could I not have known in weeks? Is he saying that she's been missing for weeks and he barely discovered this? Or what did he mean by that? He did try to look for her. At least he got into contact with her friends. They also haven't seen her in weeks. Yeah, it's like you want to keep hope that they're alive, but when they've been missing for so long, like dark thoughts start to make their way into your mind, and you start thinking of like the worst outcome, the worst possible scenario. But I don't think she'd be here. Aren't we above like a small creek? I think if she... It's not funny. It's not funny. It's just the thought that like, come on, your daughter's missing. You think maybe she ended her own life, and you're looking for her at this creek. Wouldn't like a larger body of water be more suitable for something like that?
Has she done or said anything unusual?
She's been like a different person. She used to be such a happy girl, playing in the dirt with the boys.
What changed?
I don't know. She disagrees with me about everything. Hates the ceasefire. Thinks we never should have fought the war to begin with. It's been a month since I've seen her smile. She spends so much time in her room. I should have paid more attention.
Okay, I don't think that's entirely his fault. What he seems to be describing is just that child who is, you know, very lovable, wants to do a lot of things, play with kids, hang out with their parents, do a lot of, you know, things, and then they grow older, hormones start kicking in, you know, their body starts to change, they're confused. It seems like it's just like a typical teenager. It's like, oh my god, my child, she used to love to hug me and spend time with me, and then she just changed. Now she disagrees with everything, and she wants to spend time alone in her room. It's like, yeah, that just sounds like a teenager. It sucks. A lot of teenagers are like that, though. Yeah, I feel it's because it's like not only is our body changing when we are teenagers, but then we're also expected to find out what we want to do in life, because we start getting to that age. He said that she's 17, so she's nearly an adult. They want you to find your path in life, and it's like we barely understand ourselves, and you want me to now venture into the adult world like this, all confused and whatnot. People say that even in their 40s, they still don't know who they truly are, because we as people are always changing. But to a confused teenager, it can definitely seem like a big deal. Maybe she did run away.
Did something happen during the war that upset her?
The war upset us all. The cruelty of the mad Sun King, the blood on the streets. When Edamon's men fled, they stormed through here. There's a ceasefire now, of course, but Alita broods about it more than ever. It bothers her that our people are so divided.
So she's really interested in what's happening with the war. I don't know how that could correlate. Unless she ran to Shadow Karja territory for whatever reason. Maybe she's not dead. Maybe she's just been captured. That would make a lot of sense. It's not like the Karja, the Shadow Karja really like outsiders either. I feel like if you ventured into their territory, especially as another Karja from Meridian, things are not going to end well for you.
Where did you last see her?
Just last night, in the house. She seemed better.
Was she ill?
She seemed withdrawn, sad. So I was pleased when she wanted to go out in the garden. That's the last I saw of her.
Okay, now I get what he meant about how he could not have known about it for weeks. So it's just that the friends that she has haven't seen her in weeks. He saw her just last night, but I guess he didn't pay attention to the fact that his daughter was not hanging out with her friends. So it kind of seems like I hesitate to call him neglectful, but it kind of seems to be on that spectrum. Like it's borderline neglectful, where he kind of doesn't know what his daughter is doing, what she's up to, who she's hanging out with, who she's not hanging out with in this case, friends for weeks, and she keeps to herself, and I guess he just gives her space because she's always emotional because her hormones, you know, she's a teenager. But I guess he doesn't know a lot about his own daughter. Is it because she keeps him away, or is it just because he doesn't want to deal with her? I don't know. But he saw her last night for sure.
I'm a good tracker. I could look for her. Where did you last see her?
In our garden. Please, maybe you'll find something I missed.
I'll do my best.
May the sun light your way.
I do have the second sight because of my focus. Sun and Shadow. Alita, the daughter of a Karja noble, has gone missing, and her father fears suicide, but still hopes she may be found. It doesn't sound like she has suicidal tendencies. It sounds like she's just a teenager. She's learning more about herself, about her place in the world. Her interests are starting to change, like mine did once I started becoming a teen. She might have been very playful as a child, playing in the mud with boys, but then she's starting to become a young woman.
They're fighting machines, not pacing around here.
Did this guy just say that I should be out there fighting machines and not pacing here, or did he say he should be doing that?
Don't forget to stock up before you're on the road.
Don't tell me what to do, sir. I am on an important mission, trying to find a missing daughter.
Looks like Alita left a few things behind.
Take a look at these wares.
I think she might have run away though. She doesn't seem suicidal whatsoever. It's like I said, she's turning into a young woman, so stuff that interests her are changing.
What's in this bottle?
Contains an unknown liquid compound, possibly toxic?
Ugh, smells like ash or rotten eggs. Better pour that out.
A drink that expired?
Aren't these for spying far away?
Lens capable of moderate zoom.
Why would you need a spyglass in the garden?
Something caught her attention.
I guess she was doing some gardening.
Numerous dents and scratches.
Something buried. No, something dug up. That must have left a trail.
Okay, we have tracks to follow. So she dug something up. She was spying on something or someone. And she had a toxic liquid compound of unknown thing. Like Aloy didn't say, oh, this has hints of honey. It's probably like an expired drink, or maybe perfume that's gone bad. I don't even know if perfume would go bad, but something expired. I don't know what to make of these clues.
Only the finest goods here. See for yourself.
The quests.
Flower petals. Why would she take flowers from her own garden?
Where did you see that? Oh, down here. Oh, is that what she dug up? Did she dug up flowers? Wait, okay. I was going to say Sun and Shadow. The title of the quest make me believe that she did venture into Shadow Karja territory.
Have you found a leader?
No. Sorry.
Have you checked the garden? I saw Elida in every flower, but I couldn't see anything that would lead me to her.
Hey, maybe it's the flowers that she dug up that are going to lead me to her. Funnily enough.
Tried to kill the Sun King.
Okay, so
Unbelievable.
I was gonna say that she ventured into Shadow Karja territory.
Regret not stopping.
If she was really concerned about this war, maybe she went over there to
Buy what you need.
find
Would you like to buy
out
something today?
the story from their side. Like an
the
investigative
finest goods here.
reporter
See for
of
yourself.
sorts. Maybe that's what made her more interested in what she wanted to do now that she's becoming an
Find
adult.
better wear.
But if she dug up flowers, is this like a Romeo and Juliet scenario? Separated by shadow, by light, torn apart by a war that keeps them away from each other.
The petals end here, at the water. Could her father have been right, but at the wrong place?
No. This is more suitable for ending yourself than that small creek, sure. But I don't think she was suicidal. Maybe she was in love. She's at that age. She started to look more interested in people on a romantic level. She might have found someone. Spyglass, that could be like her looking at her beloved, because she can't be near to him. If she went into Shadow Karja territory, she's probably captured. I don't think she would be dead, but I guess there's no indication that she's alive.
Ropes. To tie up a boat that isn't here.
Tied with a double anchorman knot.
Maybe she took the boat to that island over there. Looks like I'm in for a long swim.
That outlined. Okay, I guess we are definitely going for a swim. Yeah, maybe she found someone. That would make sense why she hates the war, because it's keeping her away from her beloved. She hasn't been hanging out with friends for weeks because she's always been hanging out with her lover, right? Well, the dad said that she spent a lot of time at home that he knows of. She's a shut-in. He seems a bit more on the neglectful side, doesn't keep up with the activities of his daughter. I guess he's keeping her space. So teens run away. They do that. And you know what else they do? They like to sneak out. Maybe she goes into her room. She shuts herself there. Her dad, thinking that she's just, being all sullen and depressed, leaves her be.
Flow's cold here. Down from mountains.
But this whole time she's been sneaking out. Maybe? Sun and shadow. Polar opposites. A Karja from Meridian, a Karja from the Shadowlands. Meeting together. Maybe she's captured.
The boat. This looks promising.
Oh, there's a machine. The tracks go this way still.
Is that you?
Oh, there she is. Crap. Oh, I knocked out the blaze canisters. Fuck. I wanted to.
Stay back! It's not safe!
I wanted to knock out the armor that it had, so I could shoot them with the flame arrow, but it just dislodged the freaking canisters entirely.
Get out of here while you can!
Ow.
I'm not gonna leave you like this.
You know, I should be telling you to run while the machine is distracted on me.
You did it!
I always get caught in the blast. I'm never far away from it. Okay, so she is alive and she is not captured by the Karja. Okay, I guess that theory is out of there. But she might still be here because of a lover.
I'll find a use for you.
Like, you didn't run away, you stayed here.
Who are you? How did you learn to fight like that? What are you even doing here?
Maybe you can start by answering a few of my questions.
I was gonna say, it's like one question at a time, please.
Why did you bring flowers here?
No real reason. I'm trying to make this a place for us. For all of us.
Who's us? Is there someone else here?
No. No. I was going to surprise my friends with what I made. There's no one else here, obviously.
Obviously. It sounded like a slip-up, didn't it? Where she's like, it's a place for us. All of us. I meant, you know, every one of us. Metaphorically speaking. No, I think she literally meant us, as in her and someone else. We know she's lying about the friends thing, because she hasn't even been hanging out with them for weeks. I highly doubt she's doing this to make it a surprise for them. She's like, oh, I've been avoiding you guys for a while now, but I did it because I was building this little hangout place for all of us. You, me, and my friends. Like, I don't believe her.
What are you doing on this island?
I come here to be alone.
Do you know your father fears you're dead?
I'm surprised he even noticed I was gone.
He has the whole village looking for you. He's worried.
The snap maw kept me. You took care of it, so thank you. I should be fine now.
There's more to this story, it feels.
Let's go back to the village together.
I need to finish planting my garden. Just a little more time. I'll be fine, I promise.
You know, I think I'll take a little more time too. To look around.
You don't need to do that.
I really do.
Investigate the island. The word island has such a negative connotation now that when you talk about going to the island or investigating the island, it sounds so wrong, doesn't it? Strange times we live in.
Bedrolls. 2 of them. And a set of cups. She must not have been alone here. Looks like Alita has a friend.
Someone that's more than just a friend. Oh, Alita, you have some explaining to do. Look, I'm not your father. I'm not going to scold you.
Alita, if you came here to be alone, why are there 2 bedrolls? And don't lie to me this time.
By the sun, I don't know where he is.
Who?
A troll. He lights a fire signal when it's safe to meet him, but he's not here.
Who's a troll?
A friend I've known since childhood. I'd be planting in the garden and he'd dump worms down my back. I hated that. But the last few months we'd meet here and everything was different. We talked for hours. He helped me plant that garden. I couldn't wait to see him again. It's like I'm dead and only come alive when I'm here with him. Do you know what that's like?
I can't say that
I was going
do.
to say, I don't think Aloy does. I do, though. I think a lot of us do. Isn't that's teenage love? Like, as childhood friends, you guys would annoy each other because you're not really thinking in the romantic sense with each other. Not really. You might have feelings for each other, but you're not truly attuned with them because you're just kids. All you know is you like spending time with them and you love to annoy them. And then as you get older, you become a teenager and those hormones start kicking in. You start to see them in a different light. No longer are they someone with cooties. Now you're like, wow, I really wish to get closer to them. And that's exactly what's happening here.
Well, then how did you two arrange to meet here?
We came here as kids. After he left, I would come back sometimes. One day, I surprised him here. He smiled from ear to ear. We sat and played like we had as kids, but war had changed him. Changed us both. We weren't kids anymore. We started meeting in secret. He'd light a fire to signal it was safe for him to leave his post at the Citadel, but last night,
He didn't come?
I've been waiting all night and all day. I haven't seen anyone but you.
Why keep this all secret?
Patral is a soldier for the Karja in Shadow, stationed at the outpost across the lake. It's treason for us to even meet. How could I tell my father? How could I tell anyone?
Yeah, considering they don't exactly have the strongest relationship right now, she even seemed disappointed, like, oh, it's not like my father would care if I was gone or dead. He wouldn't even know. He doesn't even care. But it's not that he doesn't. He does. It's just, like I said, she grew older. She started changing. It seemed like she inadvertently pushed her father away. He then started giving her distance, not trying to pry into her life. So from her perspective, it seemed like he was being cold and distant and uncaring. But from his perspective, it looked like she was the one being cold and distant and uncaring. So it's just like a misunderstanding. Now, whether he would be accepting of her having a potential boyfriend with a Shadow Karja, that I do not know, but he does care about her. But I can see why she wouldn't want to tell him or anyone about this whole thing, especially when it's considered treason to elope with someone from the other faction.
Enough of this. You have to go back.
Please, if you came all this way, will you look for a trawl? He lit the fire on the island not far from here. If I go, he could be killed. We could break the ceasefire. But Honora wouldn't. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I'm so sorry.
I'll find him if I can, as long as you go home to your father.
I will. But please come find me there. I can't sleep. I can't breathe knowing a troll could be out there, hurting.
Okay, I'll go find him for you. This isn't very discreet. If he
I'll shake it out later. Here's what's left of the fire. Looks like some sort of scuffle, ending with someone being dragged away.
I was gonna say, it doesn't seem very discreet to light up a fire, especially a signal fire, because they have to be very smoky for people to see from a distance. If Alita could see it from all the way over there, then surely other Karja soldiers would as well. Whoa, the world kind of looked like it was tearing itself apart. Into this fort. If this is a Shadow Karja fort with soldiers stationed there, yeah, he would be incredibly stupid to light a signal fire not too far from the fort. Oh.
Hey! Speak up or I'll cut off your other finger. Who were you signaling?
Your other finger? He's already got one of his fingers taken off?
That must be a troll.
Yeah. So they definitely discovered him. But from the sounds of it, he hasn't given up who he's been signaling. So that's good. Jeez. Romeo and Juliet taken to the extremes. Well, I know that Romeo and Juliet's families were at battle with one another, right?
Reem. Want to hear him talk.
Quite a few guards there.
Hard to believe that thing fought alongside
Maybe there's
us.
another way in.
I tell you, traitors are everywhere.
I don't know about that.
Sure. As soon as it gets a little hard, people give up. Want to do the easy thing instead of the right thing. Listen to him.
Doesn't sound easy. He's been at it for hours.
I
Hours.
guarantee he lit that fire to signal his Meridian pals to come and save him. Sit back in the capital, easy as you please.
Here they got plenty of food over there.
So what if they do? Doesn't make them right.
Jeez, when you have people on two different sides of the political spectrum, each thinking that they are in the correct and the others are the pure enemies, it sucks because you're never going to get anywhere with people like that. Like, conversations go from one ear out the other. It seems like resolving things peacefully is not...
She went that away.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh no!
It seems like resolving things peacefully gets you nowhere. And everyone got alerted. Fuck. It also sucks that they're referring to a troll as that thing.
Here we are!
Whoops. That was not a headshot.
Something broke!
He said something broke. Yeah, maybe your ribs from the impact of the arrows. Oh, is there a way I can sneak? There is.
Look around!
This is what I should have done from the beginning. Every time I try to do something stealthy, I always get caught because I'm so impatient.
Keep your eyes open.
Uh-oh. Well, they're gonna discover me.
Let this impale the enemy! Face the sun!
She went that away.
Get eyes on her!
Yeah, I think there's only two of them left. Wait, what the hell? Whoa! Okay, one of them has...
Make like a watcher and find her!
One of them has a massive weapon on them. Their leader.
Eyes up! She's trying to get over us!
Do you want to run at me in this small corridor where you have no place to hide, please? That would be nice.
Remember the flank!
Come on. Okay.
Oh! Got me! Oh!
A troll. Are you a troll? Elita sent me.
Alida. I was gonna ask her to leave with me. To go into the Outlands. Somewhere out in the sun where no shadow could reach us. But we wouldn't have made it. They would have followed me. I know now. Alita, tell her they never learned about our island. She's safe. Give her this. Tell her it's worth it.
A troll? Poor troll. And poor Alita.
It was never gonna work, was it? As he put it, they would have followed him to the ends of the earth for being a traitor. And it wouldn't just have been his life, but Alita's as well.
Amazing. There are no shadows under the noonday sun.
Oh, La Havis.
Alita came back. She hugged me, said she loved me. But now she just sits in the garden, like she's waiting. Waiting for what? Something's not right. Maybe you can talk to her.
I'll, do my best.
Arrested too.
She's waiting for someone who is unfortunately never going to arrive.
Don't say it. I know he's gone.
The Shadow Carja found him. But you should know, he never betrayed you. He wanted you to have this key.
It's a key to the lock he gave me. He said our lives were locked together. Thank you for bringing it back. For all you did for us.
He said it was worth it. All of it. Are you all right?
No. But I will be soon.
Are you saying what I think you're saying? Alita, no.
Oh,
Look at me.
no. No, okay, so... Like, I know that they say that your first love feels like the one true love. I feel like most people who are watching this are grown adults now, so you guys have experienced it most like, where it feels like you've dated someone when you're a teenager or like a new adult, recent 18, 19. And you swear that this is your one true love, and it's devastating when you guys break up because you feel like you're never going to find that type of love again. Then you get older, you experience more things, you meet new people, and you realize you can definitely love again. This one hurts more because they did not break up. Circumstances beyond their control really kind of made it be this way, where now one of them is dead. I don't want to say like, oh yeah, don't worry, you're gonna find more people, there's more efficiency. That's what you say to someone who got broken up with, not someone whose romantic significant other was killed. That seems like woefully wrong to say to someone like, oh, don't worry, there's plenty of other people out there, even if that is pretty much true. It's just like, if people did take their time to reflect a little more, they might realize that it's not all bad, that things can eventually be better. And the thing is, if she goes, well, like his memory is gone. If she really cared about him, she should stay alive to keep him alive. He's always going to be with her spiritually, especially since she now has the key to this lock. It can be a cherished memory. I can just straight up say you can't do this? What?
Look at me. I can't imagine how you're feeling. But you don't have to go it alone. Your father was crushed when he thought you were dead.
Crushed. He still treats me like a perfect doll. His prized possession. No. With the Troll gone, I'm all alone. It isn't worth it.
Wait, Alita. I was wrong about what a troll said. He didn't say it was worth it. He said it is worth it. All of it. Our losses can feel overwhelming, but they remind us of our connections to others, to a Thrall, even to your father. A Thrall would have wanted you to remember that and go on. I know it. Now will you?
I'll try.
Please, let me get your father. Will you talk to him?
I guess.
Jeez. When I thought about this being like Romeo and Juliet, the ending to the story completely just wasn't even in my head. I was just thinking, oh, it's like star-crossed lovers, two people from opposite sides where the sides hate one another, but these two lovers don't. And they're caught in between a feud that they're not part of, and they just want to be together. Like, that's what I was thinking. I completely failed to remember about how Romeo and Juliet ended. Oh no, I hope it doesn't end the same way here.
Brother's shift today. Sure as the sun's rising, he's off courting that noble
I should have
girl.
given you a token for your kindness in finding Alita. Is something wrong?
Elita needs you to listen. Right now. Go to the garden, quickly.
I will. At once.
Move along. You have no need to loiter
Complete.
around here.
Can I hear them talk though?
It's about a Thrall, Father. He and I were together. I didn't want you to...
A Thrall? Yes, I remember him. From when you two were no taller than the flowers in your mother's garden. But he went west.
They never found out about us. He didn't tell them. Even when they...
Oh, Alita. All that time spent writing edicts, I thought my work was keeping you safe from this war. It was all just parchment. And I could have lost you.
I'm so sorry, Father.
I wish I'd known, all this time, what you were going through. But I'll be better. Thank you for this second chance.
It won't ever be right that a Thrall died. But I'll try to live. For him.
I wish I'd known, all this time, what she was going through. But I'll get better.
Oh boy, young love. It does seem like it's the one and only love. Like I mentioned though, it's different when you break up with someone. You could easily tell them, "Oh, don't worry, there's plenty of others like him, her out there. Don't worry, you'll love again." But when someone dies, it's different because the love was never gone. It's still there. Now they're gone forever, and a part of you is missing with them. You don't feel complete, and you ever wonder if this is ever going to get any better. So you can't just tell them, "Don't worry, there's plenty of other fish in the sea," when it comes to stuff like that. But people should never feel like all hope is completely, utterly gone. I know when you lose something, it feels devastating, whether it's your job, whether it's a significant other, whether it's a family pet, anything. Yeah, it sucks. But you know what they say about life, about how like, oh, the pain that we feel, it's only because we loved something. And if we can remember that we love something, we can remember that we can love again. It's part of life to feel the ups and downs. After all, if there was no bad things that happened in the world, I do feel that a lot of us would take the good things for granted. Like, we appreciate the good because we know how bad it can be. And considering that she's just 17, like, she hasn't experienced the world that much. Her world, as short as it is so far, was revolved around this guy. From little kids to into their teenage years. It definitely sucks. But what it does seem, it's like because she was changing because of hormones and everything, her dad started seeing a different side of her. Because they say, I'm not a father myself. I have no kids that I know of. I'm pretty sure I don't. But they do say that parents, it doesn't matter how old their kids become, whether they're 5 years old, 15, or even 35, now grown adults. To a parent, they will always see the little kid in front of them. They would always see their child as that lovable kid that they took care of and stuff like that, regardless of the age. So to see your child start to develop differently, start getting a little more sulky, a little more irritated, agitable, being like, oh, I don't like this anymore, or dad, stop, you're embarrassing me, and you see like that 180, you're like, what happened? You always used to love it when I hugged you, and now you're being more distant. So it can suck from a parent's perspective, but then I guess from her perspective, it also does seem like her dad didn't care, because it did seem like he was a bit more on the neglectful side, unfortunately, because he saw her as distant. He tried to give her space maybe. But then she saw from her perspective that he was being distant. So then she started sneaking out. And then she found someone who did pay attention to her, who did love her. Fortunately, he was a member of the Shadow Karja. And it does seem a lot like the Karja are like the Korean situation with South Korea, North Korea. You have one Korean side that seems more rich, more bountiful, with more resources. Then you see North Korea, who's devoid of these resources, who's having a harder time. But it's not because they are just down on their luck and things aren't going their way. It's because of who they are, because of the militant faction that they are. Their supreme leader, who calls himself such, that he's got sanctions placed on him that is unfortunately also hurting the citizens of North Korea, not just the people in charge, but everyone. And so you have a tale of two Koreas, and they're also very hostile with one another. Don't they have like a stretch of land dividing the two countries called No Man's Land, where neither side are allowed to set foot because it's very dangerous, as they can and will be shot at? So that's kind of what it seems like the Karja are. Because then you also have Kim Jong-un, or is it Kim Jong-il? I forget what his name is. But you have him, who also wants to topple down South Korea, which is what the Shadow Karja are trying to do with Meridian. So you have two sides where one seems better than the other. But people also tend to forget that just like North Korea, the Shadow Karja have innocent people who had nothing to do with the feud. They're not the ones in charge. They're just trying to get by just as well. And they're also caught in the crossfire of all of this. So it's like you want to hate the Shadow Karja because of what they're doing, but then you also need to remember that not everyone is on board. There are still innocents there. Not everyone is a part of the cult. So this is interesting because it shows you what's going on between those just caught in this conflict who had nothing to do with it. And it was told by the perspective of two young lovers. Romeo and Juliet, everyone. I know that I guess it's become like a cliche now with Romeo and Juliet. Like a lot of stories have their own version of that story. But it's like a timeless story for a reason. I like seeing it from different genres, whether it's the actual Romeo and Juliet play or from like the perspective of their version in Horizon Zero Dawn. But yeah, anyways, this is where I'm going to end the episode for today. If you guys are enjoying this, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.